One of my favorite memories growing up in school is going on field trips. You know, getting outside of the classroom and learning what happened not only in our state, but just really around the world too. But we are now catching up with the Teacher Resources Manager, Elsie. We are actually offering free field trips for students. They actually come every single day. So how did this come about and why is it so important to get the kiddos out here?
Yeah, so this initiative is actually stemming from the fact that it's a very big and monumental year for our nation. So we have America 250 happening July 4th, and we are going to be celebrating our nation's birthday. So this whole entire year of 2026, we're offering those free field trips. This is all thanks to former First Lady of Kentucky, Elizabeth Lloyd Jones. Her scholarship fund is making this possible for the entirety of 2026.
That is amazing. I mean, I mentioned it in the intro. I loved going on field trips growing up, but this museum specifically, I mean, it truly spans the whole entire history of Kentucky. And so what can people find while they're in this museum in particular?
So in this museum, we're actually in a Kentucky Journey right now, which is our flagship exhibit, and that covers 12,000 years of Kentucky history, which is a lot of history. I know. So it starts out with our the indigenous people that lived on this land before we even called it Kentucky, all the way up until modern day.
I love it. We are actually in the Civil War area right now. We love this cannon right behind us because it really tees up with what the kids are actually learning in school. And so you brought a lot of different artifacts with you. So let's kind of dig into some of these.
Course.
This little doll right here.
Yeah.
So darling.
So we have our bedpost doll here, and this is a reproduction of a frontier era toy that would have been played with by children that were coming into Kentucky for the very first time with their parents. They had to be very resourceful in making toys.
Yeah.
They weren't able to bring a lot of resources with them, so they used what they had. So this is actually made out of the end of a bedpost and has a little face carved into it.
Oh, see, I love this because I feel like kids nowadays, sometimes the imagination is lost. We love technology, but sometimes we're just stuck on those screens. I mean, myself included, not just hitting on the kids here, but I mean, they had to be creative, and you can really make toys out of truly anything.
Very true, very true.
And so another modern toy, I should say modern in quotes here, this little Etch-a-Sketch.
Yes. So most people probably watching us right now are saying that's not really a historical artifact,
right.
But for today's kids, it kind of is.
I know.
So we have a lot more things that are touchscreen. They might see this and say, hey, that kind of looks like my tablet.
It does.
So by bringing something out like this, they're able to make connections, which is really important for all those Kentucky academic standards.
Mm-hmm. So good. And then to actually really hit on that historical aspect, what is this right here?
Yes. So here we have some wool, and I'll let you touch it too.
Yeah.
So very soft. So this is coming from sheep.
Okay.
And then these are going to be wool cards. So you go back and forth, making that wool go all in the same direction. This would pop off, and eventually it would turn, after being spun, into yarn like this. And this is what frontier people would use to make different blankets, their clothes. So working very hard for everything that they had.
Very, very cool. Kind of moving along here, these ration books.
Yes.
These are really special because these are actually came from a family in Frankfurt.
Yes. So these ration books here are from World War II, and like you just said, they're from a family in Frankfurt. So we have the fathers, the daughters, and then the mothers as well. And they would use these ration books to get different products like meat, sugar, and this one's actually very special because we still have two of those stamps in there.
So neat and so great that everything's still legible. You can actually read everything on there, again, preserving that history. But we actually kind of want to move into very modern day, because this is actually something that a student did yesterday.
Yes, so this was created in one of our learning labs, which are also free within the field trip experience. We have a learning lab called Quills and Bills, where students learn about Kentucky government, and then they get to use a quill, and ink, and write their very own bill. Now, this student yesterday wrote about how every public restroom should have a baby changing station in it, even if it's like in the men's room, so fathers have a place that they can also change their children safely.
That is a really good one. Honestly, Andy Bashir, if you are listening to this right now, maybe you should pass this bill. So if people are interested in coming out to the museum, taking advantage of those free field trips, how can they do that?
Yeah, so for more information, to find out about all the kind of field trip experiences that we offer, is going to be online at history.ky.gov.
All right, Elsie, thank you so much for having us out today. Again, to learn more, just head over to their website.